I've spent most of the day inside, for sure inside, and thinking about how to make my IOU bag to better realize it. Yesterday I had drawings, but today I used a heavier paper and staples. So I could see how I would do the construction and to test just the whole idea. One thing I've decided is that to get a lean, cool design, well, pared down to simplicity and structure is actually going to take a lot of time to, to cut the O's out so that of the handles out of one piece, the side. I've decided to do that rather than cut rings separate and then sew them on. The first ring is actually going to be incorporated right into this front panel, so it's solid. And then I'll make a facing ring so that I'll be working with the dark brown leather of my coat. So it'll be dark brown on the outside, dark brown ring on the inside for the handle. I am planning to put a vinyl, probably a vinyl industrial tarp piece of support interior right here where those seams meet. I think it's a good idea because I'm not using stitching to reinforce the area. I'm just going to be stitching with bonded nylon thread that holds 10 pounds of stitch, but I'm just going around the interior and the exterior, and with a little bit of back stitch probably here and here, but no crisscrossing, etc., which would be traditional on webbing as a way to reinforce the point where you're going to have a lot of stress and tension. I was thinking for the canteen to use about a 1 3/4 inch swath interior, well, for the side, so it creates a canteen that looks like that, a little organizer. It's conceivable it would fit a small phone. I'd have a zipper going from half to half, probably some sort of little D-ring or triangle hook with a wristlet leash, and originally I thought that I would hook it around one side of the handle and let the canteen just hang in the bag. That can still be done, although it's not my preference. And the reason being is that while I can reinforce inside the handle, part of this bag that I'm embracing to make is just conveying the utter simplicity. So I don't plan on finishing these edges that I cut. I will probably dye them, maybe. We'll see. So for a cord or a leash or a wristlet to if I'm going to have it drape around this with like a little dog hook so you can take it off, put it back on, use it as a wristlet loop, or loop it around the handle. What I don't like about it is I'm not reinforcing this, and I think over time that's going to wear on that leather. While it is a sturdy leather and pliable with manipulation, I think that would kind of start to make the product look a little bit defunct on its way to becoming defunct. That would be a weak area where you need the handle to be strong. So I can rethink that, a way to reinforce that if I want to, and design it to be cool, copacetically cool, but for the most part, I'm trying to design the handles, their thickness, in accordance with the bag and what I think the bag can hold for weight, so that everything is easily proportioned. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hey, bud, what's going on?
Oh, man, I'm doing a broadcast on my bag.
A broadcast on your bag?
Yeah, so we're live right now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of your way then. Everything's good?
Yeah, thanks, Antonio. All right. Oh, man. It's fun, right, Nino? That was fun! All right. So, what else? Canting takes some time. The simplicity, the design, elegance, as opposed to simplicity, ignorance, dullness. The look of simplicity and achieving the ends of not wasting any part for trying to achieve a design that rises above plain functionality. I'm not opposed to plain functionality. I do like the idea of a meta, though. I really do. And in that it's not infringing and creating excess waste. In fact, it's conceivably creating better organization. So when I think of the canteen, I think of what I would put in it. Well, I could put my camel toe. Oh yeah, awesome. Little pillow container. I could put keys. I could put my chapstick. I could put my car starter. I could put a phone. Lots of change. The idea with the wristlet is it's something you can grab and go, and that's very much what I'm trying to do. Make something you can grab and go without embellishment. I have embellishment, I've designed ribbon and whatnot, but the reason why I don't want to put embellishment on this leather bag is because these are washable. They do get dirty, and these bags are washable, but the leather is not good to wash, as it were. So I'm trying to create the bag in with a vision for wear equals better patina, a better showing for using it. And so I'm striking embellishment as far as my ribbons go. And then I thought of fabric because I'm trying to think of utility, and I thought, well, an interior pocket. Originally, for IOU, I was going to at least put some seam lines here and maybe have an interior pocket on the inside, but I actually really relish the simplicity of one piece, and for the time being, that's what I want to pursue. But I still want a utility of what I'm going to use it for. For grab and go, generally have a notebook and plenty of notes, and permutations of pockets. I thought of doing one on the side because I'm not going to have a magnetic closure or zipper closure. I want to clearly see what's in there, grab and go. I can see it, I can find it, we go. Easy as that. But I was thinking on the side to, so that it's clutter free. Not actually sold on that. When I put my phone in it, at least for the paper construction, and the way that I have this rounded here, it tends to weight the bag and tip it. And the leather's probably heavier and that wouldn't happen, but I didn't like that idea. And so I thought of fabric. I could do a fabric sleeve on the interior, but then that runs into the same game of the fabric could get soiled over time because I'm building this to last a long time. The fabric can get soiled over time, and you're not going to be able to wash the fabric. So I'm trying to pair both the idea of creating something with limitless use, basically, as far as one solitary lifetime is concerned, and I imagine another or two or three, who knows. But I didn't want the fabric to be the weak link then. So then I need to justify the use of leather again to form a pocket, and both the amount of it that really doesn't get the wear and tear that probably would warrant it, meaning that fabric is a great idea for a pocket, but for the integrity of the product of the whole, I'm choosing leather, and I'm paring it down, and I've got my little iPhone in there, going to create the same sort of, I could bring this out, played with ideas, stapled them in place, but I played with flaring the edges, and then I'll show you. So, if I flare the edges and then sew them in like this, I've got a natural cup. I don't know if you could see that. See how that comes out? It's hard to see. But if I outline it, so here's the leather pocket. This portion up here is going to fit under the interior ring handle, the O. And so it's going to fit under there. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want any seam lines on the outside of the bag. So it's not going to be attached to the outside of the bag. It's going to be attached under the interior O handle, and then at the bottom it's going to attach into the bottom seam of the bag. And basically the behind is free. There's stitch free, but it will lay flat against the bag. The idea was to then mimic the shape of the ring, and if I flare the edges, I can bring them in and it creates a cup. And I tried that, but my phone kept flipping out. So while I thought it was a great idea to create a space for digital technology, because I assume in all my frustration it's going to be a part of my life, so to create a pocket for it, to tote it around, and not just my phone's small, so I'm trying to think of the bigger phones as well, that they could fit in there. When I create the pocket for it, it kind of tips and flips out, and so I don't like that. So ultimately it's going to be flat, and don't see my scissors. Here we are. We're just going to, no flare, no flare in the leather. But what I'm going to do is, I thought about symbology, whatnot. You know, I asked myself many questions regarding practicality, the vision of use, the longevity, how to construct that, and the interior of this ring is going to be the dark brown facing leather, and so is this, both this side and then this piece. This piece is going to be cut separate, put on, and raised about 1/4 to 1/2 inch above. Let's show you. So it's going to be sewn on that pink, where the pink line is a separate piece, so that when I feed this bottom portion into the seam of the bottom of the bag, it's less bulk, yet I've got a seam to stop contents from falling out, but the seam isn't apparent outside. It will hardly be apparent inside unless you're looking for it, because it's going to be wedged into here, this bottom. So that's what I got so far. I like the space when I look in. I felt it was maybe kind of big here, but it's giving me what I want when I look inside. I'm turning all the seams out. In that it's a thick hide, the way to accent having a stand-up bag is to turn all the seams outside and leave them outside. So from the outside position, I may choose to dye them. Again, it's something that now, because the outside seam is part of the visual, the decor, it needs to be done carefully too, so that the dye doesn't run and look all blotchy and like a ombre watercolor on leather. So let's see, anything else? Canteen, wristlet. Seams are going to be outside on this one too. Oh yeah. My utility, carrying a pen. I'm going to put a little strip of leather across. Haven't decided whether to do it on both sides. The same with the interior pocket. The interior pocket, since it's going to be dark brown, matching the O-ring, is going to look very much like an eye in this sense. It's going to be, let me show you, inside to outside. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rushing for a couple of reasons. One, get to upload this on YouTube, trying to economize time. Me dog probably wants to go relieve itself, and you know, trying to get out the door today, but I was captivated by this idea. So it's conceivable to do the eye on the outside, but for me, I'm not against it. I just really don't feel like going there right now. The eye is going to be on the inside, and it's going to be dark brown here and the ring. And you know, I thought for symmetry to do it on both sides, kind of like, you know, because I like working a meta, but I don't feel the need to do symmetry either. If anything, I like the idea of rather than a matching symmetry, it's more of a searching symmetry. So you don't have two eye visual eye. I don't know. I don't feel the need to go there. One pocket, one digital product. Here, I'm not going to have this be brown leather for the pen holder. I'm going to keep it the natural hide, so it's less visible to the eye. It's just there if you want to use it. If I made it the dark brown facing, you would notice that bar when you look at the bag. And I don't want to draw your eye there. It's really just, I mean, I could use webbing, but I don't mind the idea of using a strip of leather hide matching the interior, and hang your pen there if you want it. Again, that's my utility. So, shoot, I hope that wasn't too perfunctory. Probably was. I don't know. I'm trying to get me act together. And sheesh, wouldn't you know, I do a broadcast and I don't know, I get to run subterfuge. Okay, I'm gonna stop this.